This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. The big story today, the wildfires in California. They continue to spread. The death toll continues to rise. Here's the latest from ABC News.
Firefighters are up against one of California's most destructive and deadly outbreak of wildfires. From the ground and an air assault from above, a race against time and thinning resources.
I think it'll be one of the worst disasters in California history.
At least 22 fires are burning across the state. We're now seeing what it was like for the first firefighters who responded, battling against a wall of flames as they rapidly approached Sonoma County.
There was this huge roar of the flames, and that's when I knew you're out of here.
The blaze ripping through entire neighborhoods, charring up more than 170,000 acres and forcing thousands to evacuate.
It was just a mad dash. It was chaos.
At least 180 people are missing in Sonoma County, and officials confirm multiple deaths across the state.
It's with sorrow that I tell you today that we have confirmed 2 fatalities. Charles and Sarah Rippey, ages 198.
They'd been together for 75 years. At least 2,000 homes and businesses decimated.
Yeah, everybody you've ever known, everybody I grew up with, everybody's house is gone. It's absolutely nuts.
Wineries and hotels in Napa and Sonoma County burned to the ground. In Santa Rosa, newly homeless residents returning to where their homes once stood find nothing.
Firefighters here were starting to get the upper hand, but high wind and dry air are expected to return today, and new red flag warnings have been issued for this afternoon, meaning there could be more devastation for this community. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Santa Rosa, California.
Closer to home, one person is dead in Central Florida after a fire engulfed a home this morning. 6 out of the 7 people in that home were able to escape without any injuries, and investigators are still trying to determine what caused that fire. This is Fire Prevention Week, and this year's theme is Every Second Counts. Plan 2 ways out. People are advised to map out their homes and then plan out exit ways. Practice fire drills twice a year, one during the day and another at night. And in case of a fire, close the doors behind you not to let the heat out. Once you're outside, stay there. Never go back inside a burning building. Won't be long before we're into our dry season, and we'll have to be more concerned about wildfires, but we're not there yet. We're still kind of feeling like summer around here.
Well, we get the end of rainy season this month, and then we start talking about some drier weather coming our way, and of course, that's a problem. I'd add one more thing to that list of things to do for fire. Check your smoke detectors too. Make sure that the batteries are still good. You know, you can buy smoke detectors now with 10-year batteries in them.
Yep.
That's a good thing to do.
Just replace the detector.
That's right. Just replace the detector. So you may consider that as well. A little bit drier air out there. Feels kind of nice, I think. Casey Key webcam shows we started the day off with some pretty nice conditions out there. You know, we had some blue sky to start the morning, and I think as we head into the afternoon, only a few fair weather clouds for the most part. I don't think we'll see a whole lot of rainfall around. We saw 1 or 2 showers around yesterday. That was about it. Some of them produced some decent rainfall. Becky in Olmayaka reported in with 1/4-inch rainfall that she saw yesterday. I mean, it's not our standard 1-inch rainfall from thunderstorms, but take what we can get right now, and I think later on this afternoon we'll probably see even fewer showers around. Not seeing a whole lot of activity on radar across, well, any part of the state of Florida. There's a few scattered showers down on the very southern tip and on the east coast, but that's about it. Our daytime high today will top out like yesterday in the 90s. We hit 92 yesterday, and we'll probably get pretty close to that again today. Record-breaking or near record-breaking temperatures. And I think over the next several days we stay warm, we stay dry, and then things change as we head into the weekend. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Happening tonight, local groups are getting together to raise money for relief efforts in Puerto Rico. First Relief of Puerto Rico and the Puerto Rico Chamber of Commerce of Florida, DK Dance Creation, and SRQ Florida Helps Puerto Rico will all feature musical performances and spoken word at the event. The groups are asking for a $10 minimum donation at the door, and food and drinks will be available. 100% of the proceeds will go towards Puerto Rico Relief Fund. Now, this all happens at 7 o'clock tonight at the Payne Park Auditorium in Sarasota. A national issue getting attention at last night's Manatee School Board meeting. Many people, including students, spoke to board members about why all students in the school district should have the right to take a knee during the national anthem. Under the Manatee County Schools Code of Student Conduct, students must stand for a Pledge of Allegiance and the anthem. Recently, students joined activist groups at the school board headquarters protesting the current policy.
We have our own opinions, we have our own beliefs, and I should not be forced to stand for a country that disrespects me and disrespects other innocent people.
Basically, it requires students, if they're 17 or under, to get their parents' permission before they opt out. State statute does back up the fact that students should stand for the Pledge of Allegiance unless they have an opt-out letter from their parents.
No decision was made last night. The school board plans to discuss the issue in a policy workshop in the coming weeks. Sarasota AutoNation employees commemorating Breast Cancer Awareness Month today. Mercedes-Benz of Sarasota partnering with ESPN broadcaster Dick Vitale, delivering gift bags filled with items designed especially to bring comfort to kids and adults undergoing cancer treatment. This is all part of its larger Drive Pink initiative that has raised more than $11 million to fund cancer-related nonprofits and research into finding a cure.
We take care of approximately 32,000 patients a year in this center. While we hope that our children in our community do not need us, we're here when they do. And so bringing an awareness to that is an honor today.
And there's nothing worse than watching a mom and dad watch their child suffer enough.
Johns Hopkins All Children Outpatient Center in Sarasota is one of 11 around the country. They provide services that support the clinical progress of children during cancer treatments. University of Florida's president is urging students to stay away from a speaking event on campus featuring white nationalist Richard Spencer. President Ken Fox wrote in an email yesterday that Spencer and his group seek only to provoke a reaction at their event. Fox says shunning Spencer on October 19th would limit any further attention. He also asked students to speak out against Spencer's message of hate and racism. University of Florida says it expects to spend $500,000 on security for the event, including cost of police. The university stated it will not be affiliated with the event in any way, but as a public institution, is legally obligated to allow the expression of many viewpoints by external groups such as Spencer's National Policy Institute. A bill that would prohibit Florida sports teams from building or renovating a facility on public-owned land will again be considered by state lawmakers. The bill passed the House's Government Accountability Committee yesterday. It is identical to another bill from earlier this year that the House passed before it then died in the Senate. It also requires that any sale of public land for a stadium or arena must be at fair market value. If it does pass this year, it would not affect current leases, but it could, however, delay the Tampa Bay Rays search for a new stadium. 9 out of 10 professional sports franchises in Florida have their stadiums or arenas on public land. A baby taken during a carjacking in Florida is found safe. Police say a woman left a 9-month-old inside a running vehicle while she went into a post office in South Florida. The suspect took off in the car and the baby. Officials found the baby in good condition shortly after, still inside the car in a parking lot of an apartment complex. That suspect remains on the loose. Still to come in your Suncoast News, the First Lady taking her first steps in the nation's fight against opioid abuse. We'll show you her trip to a drug treatment center. And a video showing a Florida doctor yelling at a patient is going viral. Why she may be pressing charges. That story coming up.
It's a dangerous habit. Texting and driving kills thousands each year. Join ABC7 and take the No Text Zone pledge.
Hi, I'm Michael Johnson, the new car manager at Venice Honda, encouraging you to help us keep the Suncoast safe by making the pledge to not text and drive. Save a life. Stop by Venice Honda today and make the pledge to not text and drive, and register to win a $100 gift card to Capitol Grill.
Take the pledge. Save a life. Go to mysuncoast.com for more information.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms, and if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars. Call Tax 10,000 at 800-817-1064.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
76-degree air temperature, a few clouds around. Not much in the way of a rainfall chance today, and dew points a little bit lower than they were 24 hours ago. So all in all, it's a pretty nice day here on the Sun Coast. It's just a little on the warm side for this time of year. This is about as warm as we should get for the day right now, and here we are at the noon hour. So obviously we're going to add a few more degrees onto the daytime high, and we'll be in the 90s once again. Northeast wind comes in at about 8. That northeast wind will be with us today and probably for tomorrow as well. 86 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia at 87, Myakka's at 85, Parrish at 86, Northport at 85. Then along the coastline, 86 in Bradenton, Sarasota, Venice at 84, and 86 degrees at Boca Grande. So very quiet across certainly the west coast of the state of Florida. East coast has had a few sprinkles. That's about it. Moving onshore and then dissipating rapidly with most of the activity occurring down to the south of us. Locally, we haven't had too much in the way of any rainfall since last evening, and I think if we see any showers pop up at all today, they will be very similar to the kind of showers we saw yesterday, except we'll have fewer of them. In fact, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we had virtually none at all. But we'll still put in about a 10% or less chance of an isolated pop-up shower occurring across the region. As far as the forecast for the rest of the country, well, it's pretty tame everywhere you look, really. Of course, there's still the big problem with fires in California, although winds have subsided just a little bit now. I think firefighters will probably only have another 4, 5, or 6 hours before those winds start picking up again and the relative humidities drop as well. And that's an unfortunate thing, of course. To the north, there are some showers in progress for coastal regions of the Pacific Northwest, and then back east we have some showers that are migrating into the eastern Great Lakes and eventually into the northeast and down east Maine, Pennsylvania, New York, eventually into the down east regions. We'll see some light showers, nothing really heavy and certainly nothing severe. Otherwise, it's a tranquil day across the nation, and in fact, you don't see this very often. Severe Storms Prediction Center shows very little thunderstorm activity anywhere across the plains, and even along the east coast, it's only your standard thunderstorm activity that is possible. Otherwise, there's no elevated risk for any kind of severe weather today anywhere in the country. And they do put us in a marginal risk zone for thunderstorms, but I'd be real surprised if we saw any thunderstorms around here. Maybe in the very southern tip of the state, a chance at seeing a thunderstorm, but even there, rain chances are pretty low. Now we have a frontal boundary carving its way through the deep south. Back behind it, a high-pressure ridge, a cold high-pressure ridge. There's some pretty chilly temperatures back here. But this frontal boundary doesn't have much of a chance of working its way into our area. It's going to stall out over North Florida, producing a few scattered rain showers along the coast. It's really going to be high pressure that dominates the weather pattern for the state of Florida, with a general east to northeast wind continuing to draw in drier air and reduce our rain chances for a couple more days anyway. East-northeast wind shifts east later on and surges at about 15 knots. That will bring you a moderate chop with 2-foot seas. We still have an active tropics, and we will talk about that in the next half hour. But for the 7-day forecast, expect several fairly dry days and then increasing rain chances as we head into the weekend. And a little tropical wave enhances rainfall chances. Our temperatures, however, will be dropping. Back to you.
All right, John, thank you. First Lady Melania Trump continues her battle against the national opioid crisis, this time by visiting a neonatal clinic that specializes in caring for newborns that have been exposed to addictive opiate drugs while in their mother's womb. Yesterday, the First Lady went to Lily's Place, which opened 3 years ago in West Virginia. She talked with the executive director, a patient, and the co-founders.
Please tell me how I can help, how it's the best way for you. That's why I'm here. I want to listen to your stories. I want to hear what I can do to help.
We like to make sure that, they know that our door is always open. Once your baby's no longer here, that doesn't mean we're not still here to help you.
Do you still have any stigma?
This was the First Lady's first visit to a drug treatment center. She says she wants to help remove the stigma of drug use and recovery. There's a new temporary head of the Department of Health and Human Services. President Trump naming Eric Hargan as acting secretary. He'll replace Don Wright, who was serving in that position following Tom Price's resignation. Price stepped down after it was revealed he had used private charter planes for government travel. Hargan was part of President Trump's transition team for the HHS. The video recording of an argument between a doctor and a patient is getting a lot of attention online, with more than 100,000 views and nearly 3,000 shares, plus comments from people both outraged and in defense of the doctor. ABC's Crystal Bailey spoke to the patient about what she plans to do next.
Are you kidding me? This video posted by Jessica Stipe on Facebook is getting more attention than she expected. She went into Gainesville After Hours Clinic at 6:30 in the afternoon with symptoms she says were later diagnosed as pneumonia.
I didn't get called back very quickly. I did ask if they were running behind. I was told about 15 minutes, which is not bad. So I finally got to the point where I just decided, you know what, I'll go elsewhere. I needed to come home and catch my breath. I wasn't feeling well, and I did request back the money that I had paid.
We've done a urine test on you. I've seen you.
The doctor came out just like that. I tried to be calm with him and explain how I was feeling. He did not want to hear it. I mean, the video pretty much speaks for itself.
She says she didn't know her daughter was recording when Dr. Peter Gallagly got aggressive. Do you want to be seen or not?
I want to go home and get in my bed.
Then fine, get the hell out. Get your money and get the hell out.
I did.
Really? If you go to Care Spot, you're waiting for 3 hours.
I don't know.
Go to the ER and wait for 9 hours.
Okay, you can get out of her.
Out of my office. Stipe says that's when Gallagly put his hands on her 16-year-old daughter.
She has an iPhone 7 Plus. It's not a small phone. So her phone is gripped around it. He forced the phone out of my baby's hand.
What's your name?
She said, give me my phone back, and that's when you see the scuffle on the video where he shoved her, and then he turned around, went through his lobby and down the hallway with her phone.
I'm calling the police.
Now, I did go inside to try to get a comment, but the receptionist told me the manager was unavailable to give me a comment. Gallagly is a UF Med School graduate who started practicing medicine in 2001.
Beyond that video, I had one interaction with the doctor, and that's when he came in, picked up the cup, and walked off the room. Didn't ask my symptoms, nothing.
She is considering filing a lawsuit.
I think I'm going to stick to my primary.
Dr. Gallagly has not been involved in any previous discipline cases or complaints. We did try tracking down the owner of the clinic, who was also unavailable for comment.
That was Crystal Bailey reporting from Gainesville. Time now to get over to the kitchen and say hello for the first time today to ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Hi, Judy.
Hi there, Scott. Well, today I have something that I've been making at home for years, and it's baked stuffed tomatoes. The thing I like about it, you can serve it as a brunch item. You can just serve it as a casserole if you don't want to stuff the tomatoes. And you can definitely serve it as a vegetarian option if you use vegetarian broth instead of chicken broth. Especially with Thanksgiving coming up, it's a nice opportunity to make somebody feel good about having something that's stuffed. So if anybody tells you you can't get good tomatoes this time of year in Florida, you can. I went to Yoder's Produce Market. And of course, they're getting their tomatoes still from Michigan Michigan, Ohio, places like that, the last of the season before our tomatoes come in. So they're big, they're very tasteful, they're going to be juicy enough that we need that for the flavor. So stay with me throughout the hour, and we are going to cook up a special brunch item, but you can have it for lunch or dinner whenever you want it.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Are you getting the most out of your Medicare plan? Are you sure? Many people with Medicare are eligible for plans that include extra benefits in addition to those found in original Medicare. Benefits like dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free with no obligation to enroll. In addition to hospital and medical coverage, at no extra cost, you could also get coverage for prescription drugs, dental, hearing, vision, and more. In many areas, plans with benefits are available with $0 copays for many services, $0 monthly premiums, or $0 deductibles. That's hospital, medical, prescription drug, dental coverage, and more included in one plan with premiums that may be as low as $0 a month. Call now to see if you're eligible to enroll. The consultation is free and there's no obligation to enroll.
Call 1-800-620-2254. That's 1-800-620-2254.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
Event happens tonight. This is a chance for University of South Florida Sarasota Manatee students to make connections with alums and business owners here on the Suncoast. And Lauren Kernov is with us today. She's USF-SM's Assistant Vice President, Student Success, Academic, and Student Affairs. Lauren, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. Well, this is homecoming week at USF Sarasota Manatee. Tell us a little bit about what's happening on campus during homecoming.
Sure. We have a lot of fun activities and events going on for our students. We had a paint night the other night on our campus in our cafe. We have a craft event going on our campus today. We had a lip syncing battle last night. And then Saturday, we've organized a bus to take our students up to the big game in Tampa. We're playing Cincinnati, so we'll have a good showing at that event up in Tampa as well.
Awesome. The Bulls ranked this year, undefeated, having a great season. Tell me more about Bulls and Biz, which happens tonight.
Yep. So it's our big signature career fair. It's a great chance for our students and our alumni to get together, to network. Many of our alumni work for a lot of the great businesses in Sarasota and Manatee County, so it's a great chance for them to get together. We have employers from a range of industries coming tonight. Sarasota Memorial Hospital will be there, Manatee County Government, Shin & Company, which is great for our accounting majors. The resort at Longboat Key Club, great opportunity for our hospitality students. So it's just a great cross-section of employers from our community, great opportunity for our students to learn more about all the different job and internship opportunities available in our area.
Yeah, because we know that first job is the hardest to get once you graduate from college.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have any other events or programs during the year to connect these students with employers, whether it be an internship or maybe it's a job through the year?
We do. We host information sessions with employers throughout the year. We have a great mentor program for our students where we bring in retired industry professionals who live in our area to meet with our students and coach them around sort of the skills and networks they need to be developing for career success. We host interview workshops for our students to give them practice with the interview skills that they need to be honing and developing. So we're doing a lot throughout the year to get our students prepared for career success.
That's awesome. And these internships, I know, can, you know, you intern, you make a great impression, and then sometimes that leads to a job opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Lauren, thank you so much. Best of luck with the event tonight, and enjoy homecoming. And here's all the information on Bulls and Biz. Happens tonight, 5 to 6:30 at the campus on North Tamiami Trail, right across from the airport. Thank you again.
Thanks so much.
Okay, our pleasure. In other news today, multiple women have accused Hollywood mega producer Harvey Weinstein of sexual assault. A new report from the New York Times and New Yorker magazine. Weinstein was fired by the company, which bears his name, and he reportedly is now seeking treatment for sex addiction. ABC's Serena Marshall has more from Washington.
It was a horrifying Hollywood secret. One of the biggest movie moguls allegedly pressuring women for sexual favors.
And when he showed back up, he was just in a robe and, as I've mentioned, buck naked.
This screenwriter tells ABC News she met Weinstein to talk about a script she had written. At the time, she says she felt powerless to say anything.
It was very clear to me and stated to me that if I say anything, I'll have a slew of lawyers on my back, and no one's going to believe me over the media mogul Harvey Weinstein.
The number of accusers mounting. Nearly 30 women reportedly claim they have been harassed, assaulted. A few even accuse him of rape. Among those claiming harassment by Weinstein, Oscar winners Gwyneth Paltrow, Mira Sorvino, and Angelina Jolie. Weinstein has been fired from his own company, but a spokesperson responding, saying he never had non-consensual sex with any of his accusers. In another alleged encounter, first reported by The New Yorker and which ABC News verified, Weinstein is caught on tape seemingly admitting to touching an Italian model inappropriately without her consent.
Yesterday you touched my breast.
Oh, please, I'm sorry. Just come on. I'm used to that. Come on.
Are you used to that?
Yes, come in.
New York prosecutors called the recording horrifying to listen to, but insufficient to prove a crime. But this morning, Weinstein's wife of 10 years saying in a statement her heart breaks for the victims and she has chosen to leave her husband. Condemnation of Weinstein has come from celebrities and politicians, including Barack and Michelle Obama. Many elected officials donating funds Weinstein gave them to women's groups, but questions remain over how much Hollywood insiders knew about his alleged behavior and if he could face arrest. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office asking any potential victims to come forward. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
All right, something good is cooking in the kitchen today. Let's get back to Judy Gallagher to find out more. Judy?
That's right. We're making baked stuffed tomatoes, and a stop at Yoder's Produce produced beautiful tomatoes, fresh spinach, some fruit, because I'm planning on using this for a brunch dish. But like I said earlier, this can even be made just for a casserole if you don't want to stuff tomatoes. So we start by adding 1 large shallot chopped up. Shallot is in the onion family. It looks a little bit like garlic, but it really adds a good flavor. Shallots originally started growing in France. It's one of the great things that we got in trade. And you'll find that it just brings this balance from just a straight onion. I'm using the Vidalia onions, of course, because I like the sweetness of those. Some garlic salt, regular salt, and black pepper. Now we're gonna let this cook up in some oil for about, probably about 5 to 6 minutes, so it's gonna be translucent. So while this part's cooking, before we're gonna add the other ingredients in a little while, and you don't wanna brown it, don't caramelize it, but you wanna get it that glistening look, okay? We'll let that go, and then we're gonna start with the tomatoes. So, nice big bowl tomatoes, and what I do is I just cut the tops off right here, and I'm really saving a big part of the tomato because this is gonna go right into the mix. Now, I'm pretty excited about this recipe because this is a recipe that I can share with you, but it's also going in my first cookbook. that will be out probably no later than early spring, and I'm pretty excited because I had a fun photo shoot the other day. So you'll get one of these recipes today that you'll get to use. So you cut the tomato. Don't worry about the bottom because we're going to use some of the mixture of the stuffing mixture just to hold the tomato in place on the bottom. But then you're going to just take a spoon and you're going to take out the meat of the tomato, seeds and all, and we're going to use that because there's a lot of juice in there, okay? So let's get that a good pop. Pour that right in there because that will help with the moisture. And then we'll just give that a dice. And that's going to go in our next segment. I'll finish all the tomatoes and then we'll get everything ready to add spinach. You can use fresh or frozen, and I think you're going to love it once that Parmesan cheese starts hitting those tomatoes. I'll be back in a few to keep working.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055, 800-793-6055.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Get the lowest prices of the year during the Ram Power Days event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Don't just settle for what's available at a smaller lot. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab at rock bottom pricing. Or spread out in your spacious new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $10,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Attention blood thinner users. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If your loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
New details continue to emerge from last week's mass shooting in Las Vegas. The gunman's girlfriend and brother are facing new scrutiny. ABC's chief investigative correspondent Brian Ross has details about how gunman got that arsenal into his hotel room.
According to federal law enforcement authorities, Mary Lou Danley has been designated a selectee by the TSA based on her potential importance to investigators. She has denied knowing what her live-in boyfriend of 3 years was up to in the house they shared. But one senior law enforcement official told ABC News they want to make sure Danley, an Australian citizen, doesn't suddenly decide to leave the country. Authorities also say they are keeping a close eye on Paddock's brother Eric, who is now in Las Vegas. He too has said he had no idea what his brother was planning.
We're still just completely befuddled.
He reportedly cannot find a funeral home to deal with his brother's body. More than a week after the shooting, investigators still have many questions for the Mandalay Bay Hotel. Authorities tell ABC News that Paddock, as a high roller, was allowed use of the service elevators and that he used them to bring his cases of weapons to his 32nd floor suite, avoiding the security checks in place in the front lobby. And questions remain about whether the hotel failed to act quickly enough after a hotel security guard called in to say he had been shot in the hallway through the door some 6 minutes before the concert rampage began.
In those 6 minutes, you may have been able to create a disruption of some sort that would have kept him from doing what he ultimately did.
The owner of the Mandalay Bay, MGM, would not answer any of our questions, citing the ongoing investigation.
That was Brian Ross reporting. Meanwhile, Floridians finding new ways to cope after last year's mass shooting in Orlando. Today, the Florida Department of Transportation completed a new rainbow-colored crosswalk near the Pulse nightclub. Thousands of people signed a petition asking the city of Orlando for the colorful memorial, and it was approved earlier this week. All right, let's get another check on our forecast from meteorologist John Scalzi. And you mentioned earlier, it feels a little bit drier out there today.
Little.
Though
yeah.
It's still hot.
Yeah, it's still hot, but it feels better than it did, a couple days ago. Yeah. Anyway, dew point values have dropped 4 or 5 degrees.
Okay.
That's noticeable.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for those 50-degree dew points, though.
I want that first front to blow through. It's the best day of the year.
I know, exactly right, yeah. Well, some computer models hint that maybe by the end of next week we might see a little bit of a front move through here. So that'll be kind of nice. Cool, crisp evenings. I'm waiting for that. Vanaway's a webcam put into motion shows a few fair weather clouds across the region. Kind of fast-moving clouds, really. Otherwise, not a whole lot of activity across the area. I don't expect to see much either. And I think a lot of the cloud cover that we see out there will be dissipating as we head into the evening hours and we start to develop a kind of more stable atmosphere as the sun, solar heating goes down just a little bit. Again, just a reminder that over at the Kennedy Space Center, over on the other coast there, that's that little area jutting out at the top of your screen on the east coast of Florida. That area will see a rocket launch tonight, a Falcon 9 liftoff at 6:53. So you may want to be outdoors and glance off to the east-northeast and maybe you get lucky and see that spaceship going up, one of SpaceX's rockets. We have about a 10%, that's it, chance of a shower today. Probably less than yesterday, actually. And a daytime high that'll again be warm, near 90. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. There's a new exhibit on now at the Ringling Museum of Art. Aftermath, the fallout of war, focuses on the war on terror in the Middle East. 12 international artists using photography and video to explore the aspects of the aftermath of 9/11 and the United States intervention in the Middle East and Afghanistan.
The premise of the show really is to get us to empathize with a lot of the suffering and the trauma that's happened since the intervention in those wars.
All of the artists take different approaches on the topic. The exhibit will open Sunday and will be open until the end of January. And Selby Gardens Orchid Show starts tomorrow. This year's theme is the elements. The show will combine a display of living plants in the Tropical Conservatory with an exhibition from the research collections in the Museum of Botany and Arts. Both parts of this show will feature the science and beauty of orchids. It will run through the end of next month. Today's amazing Suncoast woman will soon celebrate her 95th birthday. But as ABC 7's Linda Carson shows us, she's just recently retired.
It was a day of goodbyes, of memories shared, and good wishes for the future. 94-year-old Jane Boakes is retiring after 31 years of volunteering at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. She says it has greatly enhanced her life.
One of my volunteers that I worked with a long time said, you go home and put up your feet and have a drink and think, I've done something important today. And I think that is how I feel.
She says all the walking as a volunteer at SMH has kept her physically strong.
We do maybe 4 to 6 miles on a shift.
And working with patients, doctors, and nurses has kept her mentally alert.
We take people where they're going, to wound care or to fusion or to x-ray, to the ER often. We do all the blood bank runs, all the central supply runs.
Jane was an Army nurse in World War II.
I went into the Army in January 45, and I was on Saipan and Guam. And then I flew for American Airlines for a year and a half about, and I went back into the Army, Air Force, and to be Air-Evac nurse. And I met my husband in the meantime, and we got married.
She met her husband while he was a patient of hers in a military hospital.
He was on crutches. He said he couldn't get away, but he could have. He didn't try.
He had been wounded in Germany. He spent 5 years in the hospital. Then they moved to Detroit, and in 1980 to Sarasota. They had 2 sons and 4 grandchildren. Her husband died over 20 years ago, making her volunteering at Sarasota Memorial Hospital even more important to her.
Do all the flowers, all the mail, you name it, we do it.
And her life lesson?
Count your blessings, what you have. Just be so thankful for, I am so thankful for the wonderful life I have had.
Sure, you'll have some tough times, but Jane says you can get through them.
Just kind of roll with it. Go with the flow is what I try to do. Stay with the 21st century and be interested, have interest. That's what keeps you going.
Jane Boakes has given 16,000 volunteer hours to Sarasota Memorial, the most of anyone to date. But she says she's the one that has benefited most from her time here. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Linda, thank you. We wish her the very best and happy retirement. Back to the kitchen now and see how lunch is coming along with Judy Gallagher. Hi, Judy.
Hey, what a great story. I hope I'm still cooking at 95. That's fantastic. So the onions and the shallots have started to glisten. So now we're going to add some fresh chopped spinach. If you don't want to use fresh chopped spinach, or you happen to have some frozen chopped spinach at home, that's fine. That's going to work great. Use it frozen because you're going to want that moisture. Just stick that frozen pack, take it out, and just stick it right in there. And as it starts to unthaw, it will blend in. But because I'm going to be using fresh spinach, I'm going to make sure I add some stock. Keeping it vegetarian, use vegetable stock. You can even use a little mushroom stock. I'm going to use chicken stock since I'm not making this necessarily as a vegetarian dish. So we're going to let that cook down, bring up that heat a little bit. And one of the things I like to do this time of year is add a little Bell's poultry seasoning. Like I said, this is just a really nice special dish. If you have somebody that's coming over that's a vegetarian, I often will make this on Thanksgiving or any type of dinner party because they really get the feeling that it's something special. And it is, because we're going to put in Parmesan cheese and Italian breadcrumbs in a little bit. So first, as the spinach starts to cook down, let's take, remember all the tops of the tomatoes that we cut off? We just got rid of the core, but we even have that meaty part in. And a little fresh basil, not too much, but just enough that it gives it that hint. Then we're gonna readjust the seasoning, a little garlic salt and black pepper. Now, whenever you're cooking with spinach, whether it's fresh or frozen, it's a really bland vegetable. So you really have to season a little bit extra because you want your dish to have that flavor. So we're gonna cook that down and let the flavors marry. And then in a few minutes, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add the Parmesan cheese. We're gonna do the Parmesan in layers. So a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And then we're gonna use breadcrumbs. Now, there are so many different stores that offer gluten-free breadcrumbs. Read the label though, because they do a lot of them have sugar in them. They're made from rice, so just read to make sure you can have it. I'm gonna use regular Italian breadcrumbs. We come back, I can stuff those tomatoes up and get ready to serve.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
When severe weather strikes, trust ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
76 degrees the air temperature. We have a little bit of fair weather cloudiness out there, but nothing that's producing any rainfall, and a dew point that's comfortably in the lower 70s. Still feels humid, but at least it's not terribly oppressive and muggy outside. We have 86 in Wauchula, 87 in Arcadia, Mayaca, Parrish at 85, Northport's at 88, 87 degrees in Punta Gorda, 86 in Venice, 86 in Bradenton. And across the state of Florida, just don't have a whole lot of action on. I think if we see any showers today, they'll be like yesterday. They'll be few and far between. I think maybe even fewer than we saw yesterday. We have this easterly wind, again, over a pretty good fetch of Atlantic waters, kicking off a few showers on the other coast. And not out of the question that maybe some of the moisture could produce a shower or two in our neck of the woods, though it's pretty unlikely that it'll be anything significant, any significant rains around. We had a couple that tried to make it into Hardy and DeSoto, but kind of evaporated before being able to do that. If we see the showers, they'll probably be around 4 o'clock, something like that, 3:30, 4 o'clock. And then as we head into 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock, that be over with. We are looking at a frontal boundary back to the west that has some significantly cooler air back behind it. That cooler air kind of building in for a large section of the midsection of the country as the front sinks southward toward Florida. But that's as far as it goes. It doesn't have much of a southerly push to it. This front stalls out, produces a line of showers that stretches from about Tallahassee up through the mid-Atlantic coastline. And some of the showers could be strong over the course of the next several days. No severe weather anticipated, though. And we still are under the influence of a high-pressure ridge with an easterly wind flow, bringing sunny skies for the most part, low rain chances, and lower relative humidity by a few degrees. It's still not going to be a really dry kind of feel to the air, cool or crisp air at night, but a little bit better than we've seen over the last several days. Again, far away from home, we're watching Ophelia. Mainly I'm watching Ophelia because I'm kind of waiting to see if it actually becomes a hurricane, which I think it may well do later in the day. It's only 4 miles per hour away from being pretty close to that. 70-mile-an-hour winds right now. As it becomes a Category 1 storm, it's forecast to move off into slightly cooler waters just to the west of Portugal and Spain, and then kind of turn into an extra tropical system. Could move up very close to Ireland or perhaps Scotland, or eventually even points north of that, and could produce some pretty unfavorable weather for those folks up there. Not a hurricane, but certainly some pretty gusty winds and some higher surf and some heavy rainfall. East wind coming in at about 15 for us brings a moderate chop with 2-foot seas. And the forecast for the rest of the week looks pretty good, actually. Daytime highs topping out near the 90-degree mark for the next couple of days. Certainly warmer than average by about 5 degrees or so. And then as we head into the weekend, a little extra cloud cover, a few more showers around. will bring us some temperatures that'll be slightly cooler. Scott?
John, thank you. Nearly 1 in 3 Floridians have been the victim of identity theft or fraud in the last 2 years. That's according to a recent AAA survey. Identity theft is taking its toll on consumers. The most popular crimes committed by these thieves include fraudulent credit card use, ATM withdrawals, and tax refund theft. AAA suggests you take precautions to prevent identity theft, including signing up for a credit monitoring service, reviewing your bank account statements on a regular basis. Don't respond to unsolicited requests for your personal information over the phone or online, and don't let anyone see your PIN numbers when you're entering them. Walmart is the largest grocery retailer in the United States, but following Amazon's deal to buy Whole Foods, the company is trying to make its grocery offerings a little more convenient. Last month, the retailer began testing a service that not only delivers groceries, but puts them away in customers' refrigerators. Now the company has announced shoppers will be able to pick up their Walmart grocery orders at 1,100 locations by the end of the year, and that number will nearly double in 2018. The program is already available at the Neighborhood Market Walmart in Sarasota. Still to come in your Suncoast News, Dolly Parton releasing a new CD for children, and its benefits a great cause.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now, lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $239 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
I love these. I love stuffed tomatoes, and this is really good. Now, you've done something interesting here with the fried egg.
I put a little farm fresh fried egg on top. So that's that real brunch item. But honestly, a breakfast for dinner, and of course, Yoder's has the Bavarian Bread Company. Well, it's called the Bread Store now.
Oh, yeah.
They carry their bread, and they have that awesome, the cranberry walnut bread.
One of my favorite
grill
breads.
that up. You and I have already snuck a few pieces. Grill that up, and that is just, even with the sweetness, it just goes well. But the fried egg on top there, yes, you may. I won't say which number piece of bread this is either, but I think it just adds that dimension, right? But you can just serve it as stuffed tomatoes on Thanksgiving if you're having vegetarians, or just as an extra side dish. You can get this recipe on mysuncoast.com. Just click on the recipe, and don't forget, every Wednesday, it's gift certificate time. Sign up for our culinary newsletter, and you're entered to win a $50 gift card to one of our restaurants.
Everybody should get this recipe because you need that kind of vegetarian recipe kind of in your catalog there.
And for you and I, we just put it on top of a big steak.
Delicious. Thanks, Judy.
Thank you.
Scott?
Thank you both. Country superstar Dolly Parton found the inspiration for her new album in the children's literacy program she created. It's a program that has provided free books for more than 100 million children. She founded the Imagination Library 20 years ago. The album, titled I Believe in You, is Parton's first children's music album, and proceeds will all benefit the Imagination Library. Fashion designer and pet lover Anthony Rubio, showcasing his spring-summer 2018 collection at the Beverly Hilton Hotel as part of LA Fashion Week. His goal is to raise awareness and advocacy for animal rescue, pet adoption, and pet population control. He says in his world, humans are the accessories. It's okay to dress up your pets. That's pretty cool.
Norman doesn't like to be dressed up.
My dogs don't either. Have a wonderful day.